What's up, guys? It's Benny. Forgive this ghetto setup here. I'm in an airport and I just can't help myself. I have just read the most insane thing I've ever seen. It's a confession letter and a manifesto for the No Kings killer. You remember the guy out of Minnesota that went on a serial killing spree of political enemies of Tim Walz. And he knew Tim Walz, and Tim Walz appointed him to various boards. And Tim Walz was the employer of his wife. And the story just got more and more strange and creepy. And now we can see his writings in his hand, and we know why they kept him a secret. This is a very, very disturbing story. And since we covered it so much on the channel, it is our obligation to give you the breaking news. Minnesota assassin Vance Belcher is his name. He told the FBI in a letter that Tim Walz asked him to kill the sitting senator of Minnesota. Her name is Amy Klobuchar. And that Walz would take her seat. This is why they hid the manifesto. We need a full investigation of actively covering it up. So these are old tweets, right? These are old tweets from back last month. Feels like an eternity ago, but June 20th, where we learned this about the No Kings killer. And we call him that because he had a No Kings sign in the back of his car. He had a bunch of flyers for the No Kings rallies against President Trump. Here you go.
Assassin who disguised himself as a cop to shoot down Democrat politicians and their spouses. He killed 2 and seriously injured 2 others. Today, we're finding out he wrote a letter to the FBI claiming he was trained by the U.S. military, quote, off the books, and that Tim Walz asked him to kill Amy Klobuchar so he could take her Senate seat. Belcher's facing state and federal murder charges.
So now, lo and behold, we have confirmed that that is in fact true, that in fact, Vance Belcher says that Tim Walz instructed him not only to kill a series of political enemies of Tim Walz so that he could gain political power, but that also the cops are in on it and that he'd been trained by the military. And he says that Tim Walz has all the proof of this, and all you need to do is ask Tim Walz. And if he answers honestly, he'll tell you the truth. My goodness. You want to read it? I mean, this is insane. These are the actual photographs of the manifesto itself. There you go. You can see it in his own hand. Okay, here we go. This is everything that he says about Tim Walz. He says he directs it to Kash Patel. And he says, "I am the shooter at large in Minnesota." And he names when the shooting's happening. "I will probably be dead by the time you read this letter, and I wanted to share some information that you might find interesting. I was told by the U.S. military people during my release. I've been at many operations in Europe and Northern Africa and Middle East and Africa in the line of duty and doing what I thought best in the interest of the United States. Recently, I was approached about a project that Tim Walz wanted done. Amy Klobuchar and Tina Keith were involved. I wasn't originally aware of the project, but Tim wanted me to kill Amy Klobuchar and enforce a planned retirement. Tim wants to be a senator and didn't trust them to retire as planned. With Amy gone, Tim would stay in at the last minute, get one of the open Senate seats, and then he'd be rewarded with contracts. Other friends of Tim Walz would be rewarded with government contracts. I told Tim that I wasn't willing to do it, and if he didn't call off the plan, that I would go public. And he said he would call it off, but instead he set up murders, including one involved by somebody named Jan and Mel. I get the dark types. So like the dark types of murders. Okay. They had some people trying to kill me. I was able to get away by God's mercy. I went back a short time later and shot several of them. You should note, I didn't fire a single round at any peace officers. I had plenty of opportunities, but I didn't take it. After the report of how many weapons there were, as much ammunition as I had on me, the cops pulled up right next to me in their vehicles. I had an AK pistol aimed right at their heads. I could have left a pile of dead cops, but I didn't shoot. I spared all of them. But if they come after my wife and kids next time, I won't give them a pass. I want to give you the phone, get on the phone and tell Tim Walz that you have a few questions. Then ask him if he knows me. If he says no, that he never met me, go look at the files. You'll see that Tim Walz personally groomed me and put me in his governor's task force boards as a business representative. Now he's trying to destroy me for the public record. Ask Tim why they kept the SWAT incidents silent from the media when they first happened. Not a word to the press. Why? because they need to get their stories straight. Why didn't they want anyone to be on the same page about what happened? Tim probably is cracking bricks right now because I'm still at large and he knows what I can declassify. He knows what I know. I will be shot on sight. You can bet on that because I know where all of the buried skeletons are. If I'm going to turn myself in, I need to do it directly to you. I need to be held in a military prison near the Middle East, or at least on one of these ships, or the guys have tour grains everywhere, and I can get to anybody. I'm willing to spill all the beans. I just want my family safe. I had to do this and are totally innocent. This was a one-person op. What? This is, of course, what everybody is talking about right now. This story just got more insane. Listen, the problem with the current news environment is that you just don't know. Like, I am now prone to believe just absolutely everything. I'm not prone to like write off these kind of things because I've seen what they did during the Gretchen Whitmer Fednapping. That was a legitimate, bona fide, proven in court hoax set up by the FBI in order to boost Gretchen Whitmer to higher office, right? I've seen what they've done during January 6th. That was in order to destroy President Trump and boost Democrats to higher office. Like, what crimes won't they commit in order to boost their people to higher office? So I don't know. I'm not going to write this off. I'm going to let the trial play out. I hope that the trial is. I hope that the trial is fair. I hope this man is able to speak on his behalf, and quite frankly, I hope that they subpoena the records and find out if there's any truth at all to this, because it's crazy that this guy's able to speak with what seems like a lot of clarity. I mean, listen, they did send what looks like federal operators after him. Look at this. Looks like CIA Black Ops going and picking up an MK Ultra, right? The guy even got an MK Ultra look in his eye. Like, there's so much about this that doesn't make any sense at all. And what's absolutely true is that this was, this wasn't like a rookie doing this. This guy had some type of training, and he was able to evade police and SWAT forces. He was able to be on the run for multiple days. Does he have any type of training? Can we get that information? What is his relationship with Tim Walz? We know as a matter of fact that Tim Walz did appoint him and did employ his wife. Here's a photo. Well, it's part of a photo of his wife. His wife worked for Tim Walz. So to say that this is all crazy that's the conspiracy theory. Some of us question whether Walz whether Walz wanted enemies taken out. Media said we were conspiracy theorists. Well, now the killer himself, who's appointed by a governing board by Walz, said that's exactly what happened. So what the hell is going on in Minnesota? Goodness gracious, Tim Walz wanted a Senate seat. I don't know. I just read you the guy's entire letter to Kash Patel, and here's all I'm calling for right now. Don't want to make any wild claims that I don't know anything about. Here's what I'm telling you. There's absolutely a bona fide series of events that feds have set up and that powerful and evil people have set up for their own power. Okay? That does happen. And while it seems unbelievable, some of these plots, it's absolutely happened, true, and never put it past them, right? And here's the other thing I'll say. Have the trial. Prove this stuff, right? Go in trial, let the guy speak, and I trust that the truth will come out. If he's allowed to speak, then, or if he's just crackpot, right, insane person, then prove that, right? I'm not going to sit here and judge him. I won't judge any of this information and like offhand just say it's a crazy ramblings. It doesn't seem like crazy ramblings. It's like this guy has a lot of information and wants to get it out. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. It's your boy Benny. See ya.